What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor Lewis. You already know sometimes we sing, sometimes we give you all the reality TV tea, but it's always going to be what you want and it's always going to be what you need. And listen, we are coming back to you with another Real Housewives of Atlanta review. I'm going to say this. Britt, you were saying online, you've been saying a lot of stuff allegedly on the side about how you didn't say certain things. And I feel like Kenya might be a little vindicated, y'all. I'm not excusing what she did. I'm really not excusing what she did, but I feel like she might be a little vindicated. But before we jump into it, y'all, go ahead and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. If you are new here, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, what's up, family? I appreciate y'all. But y'all already know, we're going to jump into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today. So this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we on season 16, episode 4, The Vault. I think it was a good episode. Y'all are really not feeling Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. Like, the people just aren't feeling it. I think it's not a bad season. This episode was not my favorite, but overall it's not a bad season. But y'all really ain't feeling it. I'm enjoying it so far. There are some really, really good moments overall, but it's pretty good. So this episode opens up with Angela and Britt meet. The fact that I had to look over here to get these people's names. Angela and Britt, meeting up to have their conversation, and they're meeting up to work out or whatever. They have a little conversation, and the Britt, a bug flew in your mouth. Charlie, probably flew in your mouth because you've been lying. That's probably why it flew in your mouth, and because you're doing too much talking and you're doing way too much. That's why that bug flew in your mouth. There's something about Britt. All of the other housewives, I'm gonna be real with you, I really, really enjoy them. There is something about Britt that just seems off. We're gonna talk about my notes, men, but let's just have a conversation. Something about Britt just seems off from the rest of the cast to me. Like, we see tangible things that the other ladies have going on. With Britt, we're not really getting anything. Like, we didn't really get like a good introduction of her house. We didn't really get like a good introduction of her business. And then it seems like she sold her business. So is she just a housewife? What is it that her husband does? It seems like there's so much in the air when it comes to Britt. And we just need to get the real. So I feel like next episode we're gonna get some of that real. And hopefully it just kind of exposes a little bit more about her, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, or just so we can just know who it is that we're dealing with, because we really don't know her. We just know that she's a fan of Kenya. Now, going back to this, because I done got mad. Going back to this, Angela's having a conversation with Britt about, her family, and, just saying like how things have kind of been a shift between her and her family, because her husband and her mom got into it. She says that they kind of provide for them. And it's been a shift ever since. She's saying that they apologize to each other, but her husband's still acting as if it happened the day before. Listen, like people say, you can't tell somebody like when to forgive somebody. Now, I do think that sometimes, like, let's say somebody did something to you, right? And it happened like 6 months ago. Is it still worth it? Like, is it that big of a deal? Can y'all really not move forward from it? I just hope that they can move forward from this, and we can see that it's a bonding moment between Angela and Britt, because both of them have issues with their families. And Britt, she's letting her know, hey, my sisters and I have a rift. My dad was, our anchor. He's no longer here. She sold the business. She got married to her husband. And there's a shift there, between her and her family. So it's really, really interesting, that dynamic. So it was good to see them have that conversation. They continue, Angela's talking about how she wants to move forward with Shamia. Love to see that. I really think that they can move forward. They were just shady, and honestly, I love the shade. Y'all keep throwing shade at each other because y'all were funny. Last episode was hilarious, baby, because when she said that 90 nose and she said Flavor Flav, baby, it just brought me Flavor of Love, baby. For those who know, if you have never watched Flavor of Love, baby, go watch Flavor of Love. I might review Flavor of Love. Y'all, that show is old, but I might do some reviews on that because I love me some Flavor of Love. That TV gold. Do you hear me? Miss Tiffany New York Parker. That is not the Parkers. The Parkers was over there on Real Housewives of Potomac. But Tiffany New York Parlor, honey. And we got Miss Delicious. Yes, indeed. Miss Boots. Baby, it was good. Oh, it was good. But this ain't about them right now. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's get back to it. But I feel like her and Shamia can work past the issues. Now, Britt, she kind of lets her know, Shamia's a cool girl, but Britt brings up her issues with Kenya. And I just truly don't understand what Britt's issue is when it comes to Kenya. And, Britt is saying, I've kind of had some shade. I threw some jabs over there, but it's not that serious. And my thing is to Britt, if it's not that serious to you, why can't that same thing be applied to Kenya? Because in all honesty, when Kenya asked you about the ring, I can understand why she asked that question because you said that this is your second ring. I was under the impression that you were married before as well. So I can understand where she came to that deduction. Now, can it be a little shade in there with Kenya? Of course it can be. It's Kenya. We know Kenya gonna have a little shade in there, so we're expecting that. But I think that you're sitting on it for too long instead of moving past it because she ain't came at you that hard. Like Kenya, when she came at Porsha their first season, that was real shade. Kenya, when she used to come at some of the other people, that was shade. Like how she used to do Tanya, but how she's doing you is really just super passive. So I don't know, Britt. I feel like you're doing way too much here. So after they leave, the park, we head over to Shamia's house, and her sister are having a conversation. And they're sitting by the pool, drinking they moet, looking good. Both of them are beautiful women. Love to see it. Shamia's having a conversation with her sister about working with RL, which if y'all do not know who, y'all should know who RL is. He's on one of my favorite songs with Deborah Cox. We can't be friends. I'm still in love. Y'all, that's one of my favorite songs. Oh, I love that song so much. But Shamia's working with him. Hopefully, we can get a little duet because we need something like that, y'all. We need some good feel good music put back out there. Listen, I love music that make you feel something, make you want to get up and boogie, shimmy your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Something that really gets you in the moment, get you in the groove. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But Shamia, the song sounds great. She talks about being in a group with Carrie Hilson, which I love me some Carrie Hilson as well. So it's really dope. Now, what was funny is when Shamia was out there and the people was mowing the lawn, and baby, we couldn't hear what they were talking about. And Shamia said, "You know what? See, this is why we gonna buy the land. That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. When the lawn mowing people, the people mowing the lawn, they got nothing to do with the land. But when you so annoyed about the people mowing the grass that you want to buy the lot, that's what I'm talking about. That's big money there. You better do it, Shamia. And once you, baby, do it again, girl. I know that's right." So she talks about Angela inviting her to the party, and she wants to extend the olive branch because they went low. They had their disagreement, but I feel like it's nothing that they can't move from. So I would love to see. The thing that I love about Shamia this episode is every one of her confessionals was like Jackson based. It was Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, Latoya Jackson. She had a little Reby in there, baby. It was good to me. So love that. Now we see Porsha showing up in her Chanel. Now I've seen Porsha, she got two of them bodysuits, and the fact that I remember this is wild. Porsha wore one bodysuit like that on Watch What Happens Live. It was a short set though. Same jacket, same top, but it was shorts. And then she has the pants version as well. Which the pants is more appropriate for a business meeting. Yes, ma'am. So we see her, she's talking about how basically she's going through a transition in life. She thought that she was just going to retire at 40 and live off of her man. And child, she said, baby, I got to get back out here and work with the girls. So, she's getting back into her bag with her sheets. Now, her Pampered by Porsha. Now, something that I love that Porsha is doing here. Porsha has a tangible product that we're already seeing. It's a tangible product that she already has on the shelves, right? And she's growing that business, making it more lifestyle. Now we've seen some of the other ladies do lifestyle. For instance, Shebysheree, lifestyle joggers. We didn't want it. We see GNA, lifestyle, health and fitness, whatever. We didn't want it. Pampered by Porsha. Now I already have sheets. I already have a bed with sheets on them and extra sheets stocked in my closet. So I don't need any Pampered by Porsha. But maybe some of the lifestyle wear that she has, I could maybe trinkets, a nice hanging plant, something like that she might introduce into her lifestyle brand that I might want to add to my things, to my things here. But yes, Porsha, I think that you are going in the right direction with that. You're saying you doing duvets, honey. We love a good duvet. So yeah, you keep doing that. You're doing great with that. So we love to see people actually doing the things with their brand. Now she talks about, her go naked stuff, her go naked hair, which the hair looks great. If Portia's wearing go naked, y'all, the hair looks really, really good. The thing with her, and she talks about the brand ambassadors and wanting to add more. And we just kind of talk about Drew being a brand ambassador. And it segues to like one of the guys that was there. He's like, he didn't know that Drew was a Clive Davis or whatever he said. In the not Drew, Dennis was that in the music industry. It's still weird. It's weird for everybody involved, y'all. It's gonna always be weird. I don't care. She can have the number one album. It's gonna still be weird that she's working with Dennis of all people. But you got to start somewhere. But it's just odd. She's talking about Drew not holding up some of the obligations from the Go Naked being a brand ambassador. And she said, she hopes a girl get fired. She going to talk to the corporate people over there. Portia, you are corporate. Portia, it ain't no corporate people. You are slanging them sheets or them bundles of hair out your basement, girl, allegedly. You doing that. We love you, Miss P, but you running the show over there, girl. If you want to fire that lady. Get you somebody else to do the hair. We ain't gonna be mad at you because we understand why you mad at her a little bit. Now, Portia, you doing a lot, but we can understand why you mad at her. So after we done talking about the go naked hair and the pimp about Portia sheets and all I would say GoFundMe. She ain't got no GoFundMe, y'all. That's not what I meant to say. Her duvets and whatnot. We talking about all of that. We head over to Drew talking to Ralph. Y'all, it's about time that we see Ralph. We finally see him because we really haven't seen him on the show. So one thing I want to say, kudos to Drew for actually filming with him, right? Because I don't know if I would let him on my platform. I'm just saying. That's just me. But, we finally have them having that conversation. And he really does need to move out. I can just see how awkward that is. It's just a weird situation. Now, one thing I will say about Ralph is a good looking man. You cannot take it from him because he looked good in that green screen without a blouse on. He didn't have on no blouse, but he looked good, girl. I wasn't mad. Keep the blouse off. I wasn't mad, baby. You looked it all right to me. But you can't come around here. You can't come right here. See, some people, when they get to looking good like that, baby, they're going to cause strife in your life. When people look too good, baby, you leave them people alone. Some people be, like, for instance, I look so fine, baby. Some of y'all don't try to talk to me. Don't try to talk to me, baby. Listen, calamity, baby. Destruction and calamity. Don't come up here trying to talk to me. But this ain't about me. This is about these people. Anyway, they start having a conversation about how the kids, not want to have a discussion about the divorce. I will say this. I get where they're coming from, but the oldest is not like super young. They know. Daddy living in a basement is weird to them. They know. And I'm sure your kids are probably showing signs. And I get that you don't want to have that discussion. But maybe, I'm not a therapist. I don't know. But I would definitely talk to a therapist about that to see how they can help you introduce it to your kids because they know. They definitely know. And I feel like sometimes as adults, we don't give kids enough credit. And I feel like kids are very resilient. And we just need to give them a little more credit and just be honest with them because they know more than what we think they know. And they can handle more than what we think that they can handle. So, yeah, just think about that a little bit. He was talking about the kids know essentially, like one of the kids brought like something about the divorce to him. And, he says about the whole narcissist thing, they kind of have a little banter about that. And I would say this, both of y'all have narcissistic tendencies. Both of you do. So just leave that there. He gives us a little tour of his basement. I felt like we were on MTV Cribs. It was real nice, the basement. We saw the theater. We saw the bar. But what I felt was interesting was we did not see a bedroom. So are you sleeping in them theater chairs? Because we didn't see no bed. We didn't see no bedroom. Where are you laying your head at, Ralph? We see your private entrance. But where are you laying your head? I know you can watch a movie. I know you can fix a beverage. But can you sleep? That's the question that we want to know. Please get back with us and let us know where you are laying your head. Now, after we get done with that whole conversation, we head over to Kenyamoore Hair Care, baby, the Kenyamoore Spa and Salon, where we're meeting up with Miss Kenya and Miss Kelly. Really like this duo. Boss women, both of them looked phenomenal in the salon. Kenya, the salon is beautiful. It is such a beautiful salon. I feel like last season somebody was giving her like an issue about the salon, and we can see that it's up, it's ready to go. It looks amazing, it looks great. Really, really excited to see everything that it brings. Now we see Kenya bring up like, "Hey, you got security, girl. You good?" And Kelly talks about, she needs the security because of her ex. Now, Kelly, I think that you should find another security guard. I don't know much about the one that you have, but I think that you could do a little bit better. And I'm just gonna say that when it comes to security, because I feel like if something really pop off, that man that could be able to protect you like you need to be protected. I'ma just say that. But but in all seriousness, it's sad to hear that her ex was threatening her in court. He's not able to see the kids right now. That's a lot of stress to put on her. And I really hate that she's going through that. She has a restraining order. And they open up even more, and she's talking about how what he's fighting for is essentially, the businesses. He wants to close those businesses down, or, she wants to essentially like just keep them going and wants to grow the business and wants to grow the brands. And I hope, you know, where is going to be kind of tricky is by them opening those restaurants up during the marriage. That's going to be kind of a tricky situation there. But I hope that they are able to figure it out, come to a common ground, and I hope that she's able to grow the business because it seems like she's very successful in what she's doing. So I hope she wins in this, whatever winning looks like for her. I hope she gets what she deserves and hope she's able to win. I really like Kelly. I really like Kelly. I like Kelly. So Kenya gets emotional in this conversation, and she's talking about how she's poured everything into this restaurant, and she speaks about spending 400K, and she spent her daughter's college fund on this. And I know that's a scary thing. I have never been in a place like that. I don't have children. I do have things for certain family members if something happens to me. I shouldn't have said that on here. Don't y'all? If something happened to me, y'all, it was one of them, and they not gonna get it. Okay. But no, you have things for people, but if you have to dip into that bag to essentially attain more, I get it's a scary feeling, right? Because you're gambling on it. But Kenya, I think that you will be successful in this. I hope it works out for you. I feel like it will. I will also say, and this is speaking on next episode, speaking on how much you had riding on that, I don't even know if I would have done anything remotely that would have messed anything up at my business if I had so much riding on it. But that's just me. But yeah, we can move on from there. So we see Brittanyeady and her sister, her older sister, having dinner. We see them meeting up for dinner. And let's just talk about this really quickly. The issue that these two are having is the dynamic of their relationship has changed. Friends go through this. Family members go through this. Relationships change when there's a new dynamic in a relationship. Britt is married now. Britt has her husband. And her sister kind of feels shunned a little bit. She feels like, I'm just trying to hang out with my sister, but you feel like you always got to bring your plus one. Britt needs to set boundaries to be like, hey, husband, me and my sister are going to go do this. But at the same time, your sister needs to understand you are married now. You are one with your husband. And it's not only just you that you have to think about, you also have to think about your husband. So it's give and take. And I think that your husband and your sister shouldn't make it difficult for you to navigate those two relationships in those two spaces. So I hope that y'all can figure that out. I hope that y'all can come to a common ground on that. But that's essentially what the issue is. It's just the dynamic of y'all's relationship has shifted. And I feel like you have two people that are vying for your attention. And I hope they just give you a break on that. I hope they do. So, excuse me, they just need to give you allowance for those relationships to be different. And that's that on that. So we see Drew showing up to the studio with Dennis. Once again, it's still weird. It's always going to be weird to me. And I have in my notes here, this is the reason that Porsha didn't want y'all to film together. And the reason I'm saying this is because, and don't get me wrong, Porsha didn't help it. But the reason that Porsha did not want y'all to meet on camera is because the conversation was going to fall back or going to always circle back to Porsha. Because Dennis is in this thing saying, well, she was in Africa eating fufu, and I'm over this. Like, Dennis, you don't have to throw shots at her. You don't have to do all of that. Y'all need to have a conversation with Porsha. Drew, you need to sit down and have a conversation with Porsha. And Dennis and Drew, maybe if y'all want to meet with Portia and have a conversation to figure out what that work dynamic looks like. Figure that out. But I feel like the conversation it would be nice. It would be nice to do. Y'all are already working together. So my thing is at this point, it's money spent. There's nothing we can do about it. It just would be a nice courtesy to just have that conversation with her. But this is kind of why she didn't want y'all to have that, because she doesn't want to be the topic of conversation and she's not there. If you are working with him, solely and purely work with him and let that be it. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, they definitely need to have a sit down. So they definitely need to have a sit down. And the biggest thing that I want people to understand, like when it comes to Portia, Portia does not need any help making herself look bad. I love Miss P. She don't need no help. Trust and believe it. So y'all meeting up, y'all can cut it. She don't need no help making herself look bad, because she is definitely putting little nuggets to make herself not look the best. Like I said, I love Miss P, love Portia down, but Portia is doing some stuff this season I'm not really vibing with. So we see the ladies getting ready to head to Angela's event. Venue looked really, really dope. The vault or the bank, I don't know what it was called. The bank, because it's in Bankhead. It looked really, really, really good. Now we see Kelly talking about, it's in Bankhead. Her and Britt having the conversation. She got to have her security. Britt talking about she bringing her husband. Girl, what he gonna do? Girl, he ain't finna do nothing. No, he seems like a cool guy. But y'all, please, y'all safe. Y'all gonna be safe in the. They ain't gonna do but lock the vault. Y'all will be all right up in there. Might not be able to breathe after a while, but y'all will be all right. But the ladies start showing up, and everybody looks great. Venue looks top tier. Portia was on time. She was one of the first ones to arrive, so that was good to see. She's on time here, and as everybody is showing up, we see Kenya show up in her green. Baby Kenya said, "We going to a ball. I'm wearing green for money." She said, I know it said black. I'm wearing green. I got black skin, baby, so I'm going to wear green. It is what it is." And she looked amazing. She looked great. But it was just really funny because she was like, "Oh, I didn't get the memo." And Portia was like, "Girl, it said black attire on the invite." So that was really, really funny. So Kenya, you knew what she was doing. I get it, though. Sometimes you want to wear what you want to wear when you want to wear it. So you did it. You look good. So you do you. Now I'm going to point this out. We see Kenya speak to everybody in the room who was there at the time. Kelly was there. Angela was there. Drew was there. Portia was there. Brittanyeady was there. She spoke to all of them. And then when she gets to Britt has an issue because, that was just a pat. That wasn't a hug. And Kenya was like, I gave you a hug. I just didn't want to get my makeup on you, your makeup on me, or however she said it. Which that's a big thing. Like, I know I've hugged women and I would have makeup all over my clothes. And then I come home and my man want to be mad at me. I'm just kidding. I ain't got no man. But no, that happens. Like, you just don't want to get makeup on each other's clothes. So I don't think that it was a big deal. She spoke to everyone. I'm not really understanding why Britt is trying to make this Kenya thing a thing. It's super weird. So we see Shamia showing up. She looks very rich, very elegant. We love it. And she comes in there with a bottle of olive oil with 2 sticks stuck in it. Girl, please, I guess. It was a lovely gesture of olive branch. She gave us 2 switches and a bottle of olive oil. Them, like what she said, them switches. Portia is funny. But we see them have that little exchange, her and Angela, and Shamia apologizes to her. She didn't want them to moonwalk back to where they were going. So it's good to see them moving in the right direction, So I really like that, to see them moving forward. Now let me tell y'all, Kenya and Portia, when they got to talking about them chili egg rolls, them collard green wraps, them yam bites. When I tell you, y'all, that was so funny. Like, it was so funny. Because that's one thing, black people, we know we'll make up a red bean and rice egg roll. We got cornbread and red bean and rice cupcakes in the kitchen. Y'all, we'll make up something, baby, just to eat. Any excuse it is to eat. Oh, you know how you got spinach dip? We got collard green dip. We just too ready to eat. We too ready to eat, y'all. We gotta calm down. We just can't eat ribs no more. Hey, I got fried ribs with a sweet candy yam glaze. Calm down. Calm down, y'all. We can't just eat macaroni and cheese no more. We gotta have, hey, I got sweet potato pie with a macaroni and cheese crust. It's just too much. But all of it sounds delicious. So if you are making those meals, please invite me over to your home. I will come with an empty stomach and open hands. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So as they are ordering their meals, Kelly talks to Drew and she's like, well, Drew, you didn't tell me you were bringing, an additional plus one. You brought your makeup artist, which he's a big makeup artist. I think he's from New Orleans. I can't remember his name though. Um, and Kelly said he didn't buy. Ooh, not Kelly, not too much. Not too much, Miss Kelly. We like you, not too much on the door. But Drew, you known for being cheap. Like I feel like every season it's something happens where they call you cheap or you not buying something or you invoicing somebody for something. And you show text messages about you ordering this $2,000 coat that you say you ordered. But where's the actual receipt? So we're going to need to see the receipt. I'm sure it's going to come up at the reunion. Because, yeah, you got a text message. We need to see the actual invoice of what you purchased at the store. That's all I'm saying. So, they're asking Kenya about her salon. She opens up about that. We're looking forward to seeing that. I think next episode we're going to get into the salon. And, Shamia is giving us a taste of her song. Now, Porsha, I just don't understand why you were doing this. Porsha was so shady to Shamia for no reason. It was just like, and you know what? Let me say this. It could be the dynamic of their friendship. Like, I have some friends that I am just fun shady with. Like, some people be like, oh, that's just mean to them. No, that is me in their relationship. That's just how me and them roll. So I have some friends that I'm like that with, but Shamia, you know your best friend voice. Because I know if my best friend was to give me a thing where she was singing, baby, I would 100% know. I'd be like, ooh, Chrissy, girl, this is not it. This is a chop, baby, because I know your voice. Your voice is not giving. Love you down, girl, but it's not giving. I ain't like, you got a voice that if we need somebody to sing in the back row at the church and we just want you to whisper sing, you got a voice like that. That's what we didn't need that. But Shamia sounded amazing on her song. And like the people are saying, that's your best friend, Porsha. How you ain't know that was her singing? Now I will say, in Porsha's defense, just a little bit, it was a little auto-tune in there. So maybe Porsha was saying, the auto-tune had her ears confused and she really couldn't pick out Shamia's natural voice because she used to Shamia just getting on the mic and just singing. She heard a little auto-tune and I think her ears couldn't catch that. So I'm gonna give Porsha a little bit of grace, but Porsha, you were shady. You know you're wrong for that. Now I said I was gonna give you grace and I took it right away. So anyway, so we see them write down questions and the questions were good. The questions were really, really, really good. Now, Porsha, what you know about Charles? Angela, girl, you better check it, girl. You better check it. Now, Porsha, no shade. I love you down, Miss P. Well, Porsha, you got a record of taking people, man. Angela, get over there, check the phone, check the DMs, ask the girl at the front desk if she know who Porsha, if Porsha was showing up to the door. Make sure you check on that, Angela. I don't think he really her type. Porsha go. Let me get off Porsha. Let me just. Anyway, so we see them talk about Kenya and her panties, baby, and they said Porsha had a moose knuckle down there. Good to me. Good to me. Y'all know that's right, Miss Kenya. You got that snatch back, girl. And then we get down to let's talk about it. Well, let's talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and get y'all off of this thing, but we're going to talk about it real quick. So they having a conversation. Let me pat. I got excited. They having a conversation, and Britt is essentially asking her, well, Kenya, can you greet Britt or whatever? And Kenya was like, yes. She said, yes, I can greet anyone kindly with no attitude. That's what she said. Yes, or something along, I'm paraphrasing here. Yes, I can greet anyone without an attitude, kindly without an attitude. Britt was like, no, this is about me. And I'm with Kenya. You just wanted a moment. And it was like the energy it just didn't match the offense. That wasn't even an offense. It's like, Britt, you were just really looking for a moment for Kenya. You are coming off like, hey, this is how I get my position here. If I come for Kenya, this is definitely going to have me as like the main person coming in next season. It's not doing what you think it's doing. It's not cool. The way you were going at her, calling her out her name, you were doing way too much. And why you coming at her like a peasant? Because it just was unnecessary. It was unwarranted. And she spoke to you. She gave you a hug. Man, I greet my friends like that all the time. Like, hey, baby, some of them I brace a little bit harder. Some of them it's a pat. No love lost or no hard feelings at all. It's just sometimes you greet people a little bit differently. And in that moment, she didn't want to get makeup on you. She didn't want to get makeup on her. So that's why she greeted you that way. Also, too, she gave you a hug and you were still sitting down. You could have stood up and gave her a hug too. That probably would have been a better hug if you would have stood up. So you got to own a little bit of that as well. Where the issue for me comes from, and once again, I'm still not saying that Kenya was right for what she's about to do. But you threatening her with a pistol, calling your husband, what was all that about? Like, what your man finna do to her? Like, that wasn't cool at all. See, this is those moments I wish Matt was still around. Because, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because they would have had to shut down production over there at the vault or the bank or whatever it is. I'm telling y'all, I don't understand why the girl was so mad. I don't get why she was so mad. Even all the other ladies was like, man, the energy just was not there. And was she drunk? I'm just saying it was just real low class. It did not give Real Housewives of Atlanta. All the other women give Real Housewives of Atlanta. They can argue with class. They can throw shade. She does not give Real Housewives of Atlanta to me. And that is as of right now. Maybe I will see it soon, but she is not giving me Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's giving me Love the Hip Hop Tees. Now that's just me. And y'all, that's just where the episode kind of ends. We see them driving off, and Kenya is bringing up the pistol thing, but child, it's gonna end there. Child, y'all, hopefully this season continues to grow and to get better, and it grows on us. But this Kenya versus Brit whole situation is very interesting. I'm ready to see what happens next episode. I can go ahead and watch Married to Medicine, so I can go ahead and drop that today, so we can be done for the week. But with that being said, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend, share with the person next to you in the cubicle, so we can grow this community. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a good one. I'll see y'all soon.